I'm gonna hit up Blizzard Beach today too, because obviously they didn't get water park tickets, but I have an annual pass that includes water park tickets, so I'm gonna go check that out. I've never been, so. Good morning, friends. So I decided to extend my trip by 2 days. So I'm now all alone in my room. I wanted to give a little bit of some information on how that process worked. So I went on to my Disney Experience, or my DisneyExperience.com or whatever to book an additional reservation. What would have probably made sense is if I had gone to the front desk and asked them to extend for me. But what ended up happening is because of how it worked early on in our trip, because of the glitches we had on the way in with our flights, we already knew that if we had two reservations, they could kind of merge them together, right? So I was just wanting to stay in the same room, right? But when I went on my Disney Experience, they didn't have the room category available that I was currently in, the preferred pool room, right? So I booked a standard room. And so I knew I would most likely have to move because obviously it's in a different category and this category is more expensive and blah, 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 right? So I went to the front desk to see what my options were last night. And the lady, her name is Katie, very, very great experience with her. She basically, called guest services, looked at all of the different reservations that were coming in, et cetera, et cetera. And she said, quote, "We're going to have to play some Tetris, but I think we can get you to stay in the same room. Or at least, we're going to try. No promises, but we're going to try. If it can be done, we'll do it." So they called me about 1 a.m. So 3 hours later, she was working back and forth with guest services and whatever. And she left a silent voicemail on my phone, my room phone, basically saying, "We tried everything. We couldn't get you to stay in the same room, but we found you one 2 doors down." It was in 5166 now. I'm in 5168. So, and so far, I was looking at the room charges and stuff. It appears to be charging me the standard room rate, and I'm in a preferred pool room. So if that's the case, then Katie also got me a free upgrade, which I'm super grateful for. So I cannot praise Pop Century and just the process of extending my trip enough. Even the Magical Express was really easy to change and fix. So yeah, they left. I'm still here. I stayed a couple extra days so I can get a little bit more footage. I'm gonna hit up Blizzard Beach today too, because obviously they didn't get water park tickets, but I have an annual pass that includes water park tickets. So I'm gonna go check that out. I've never been. So I'm gonna get some footage, definitely. I don't know if I'll vlog a lot of it because my phone's gonna be in a locker at one point and stuff, but I'll try to get as much of it as I can. And we'll talk soon.
I didn't really have to wait too long for the bus, but one thing to be aware of is that there's no direct bus to Blizzard Beach, at least not from Pop Century or any of the other resort hotels I've stayed at. For most, if not all of the hotels, you have to go to Animal Kingdom and transfer from there, which isn't too big of a deal since obviously Blizzard Beach is right next door to Animal Kingdom, so it makes sense for them to have a transfer station there. But just keep in mind that it's going to take you 2 bus trips to get there, so if you're trying to stay on a certain timeline or schedule, be sure to factor in an extra 20 minutes or so for that. My annual pass worked just fine at the gate. Whenever I use a feature of it that I've never used before, I get a little bit nervous, but they seemed happy and content with letting me in, and right away I saw how cool the theme is. If you're not familiar with the lore of Blizzard Beach, it's from my understanding, at one point Florida froze over, and so some wealthy billionaire decided to build a ski resort there, but that ended up backfiring because only after a couple of months the Florida weather went back to normal and all of the ice started melting. But then, so he didn't lose out on his investment, he decided decided to turn it into like a water park. And so most of the slides and stuff are themed to be chutes that have been carved into the ice. There's a ski lift that takes you to the top of the mountain, which not only fits the theme, but also saves you some steps if you're not wanting to trek your way all the way up. And of course, I checked the map before deciding where to go, and I decided to go up to the top of the main mountain. I'm not sure if it has a name, but the map just calls it the Green Slopes because it has like multiple slides on it. And all of the areas in the water park are divided into colors like that. So yeah, and obviously the park was like not even a little bit crowded, which was awesome.
Hey, so yeah, I just finished doing a couple of the smaller slides and went up to the green area where the bigger slides are and did the lower one. I forget what that one's called. It's like you go like down and then straight and then down and then straight and down and then straight. It's like the second tallest one. Gosh, I'm so bad at names. But I'm about to go up and do Summit Plummet, which is the tall straight down one. It used to be, I believe, the tallest slide of that type in the world, but obviously that record's been broken several times over. But it's still pretty tall. I think it's 120 feet or something crazy. I will say that other one, the down the straight one, whatever that one's called, was pretty intense. I was surprised. I got airborne at one point, which was kind of scary. But yeah, so I'm enjoying Blizzard Beach. It's definitely a cool water park. Love the theming. And there's nothing like it back home, that's for sure. So anyway, we'll talk soon.
And so I made the trek up to the top of the mountain. I decided to take the stairs up because the ski lift had a little bit of a line. And then once I got up there were like 10 people in front of me to go down. And so I got to watch people push themselves over the edge and scream the whole way down, which of course built the anticipation.
All right, so I just got done with Summit Plummet. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Definitely intimidating pushing yourself over that edge at the top though. And then you just plummet down the summit, right? So I'm actually going to go get some food right now. But yeah, having a good time. We'll talk soon.
Next, I decided to get into the lazy river. This park actually has a really big one that wraps around pretty much the entire perimeter of the park. It has this really great grotto, and even just one lap takes a while because it's really quite long, but I went around 2 full circuits.
I thought I'd sit back down and chat for a little bit more. It's a little bit hard to record at this park. I feel like people get a little bit weirder about someone walking around talking to themselves here. Maybe it's because people are wearing, swimsuits and whatever. But or maybe it's just all in my head, and vlogging still makes me pretty nervous. So we'll get better at it, though. We will. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna check out the menu here. They have like a chicken honey butter biscuit sandwich or something that's supposed to be really good here, and maybe I'll get an alcoholic beverage and then call it a day here at Blizzard Beach, because I am going to head back to my hotel and change and then go to Hollywood Studios, where I have a reservation for Oga's Cantina, of all places, finally. I'm looking forward to that, that's for sure. But yeah, we'll talk soon.
So I put in a mobile order, which was done basically right away, so I walked over to the little snack shack to pick it up. I got one of the honey butter chicken sandwiches along with a beer, and then from there I walked around a little bit to see if I had missed anything significant, and then I noticed that they had these really great water jets that are there to wash the sand off your feet. There were several slides that I didn't do, so next time I go, I'm going to make sure that I experience more of this park. But yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all those fun things. We'll talk soon, and you all have a good night.